But, what's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. I got my man Clayton in here, got my man Tunk in here, man. We get ready to get into a lot. We're gonna talk some Chris Paul. I want to get into the NIL that y'all was talking about too. The deal with the NIL. And maybe we could talk a little bit about that Odell Beckham, man, going through $120. You know, he done ran through $120. That's crazy.
Is he completely through it?
I don't know. I don't know if he completely.
I know he made a statement a couple of months ago. He was on a pivot. He said it's hard to live off that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, is he completely out of it?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's interesting.
Maybe not. He might be, he might not have hit the bottom. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Well, he did say, like, if you get $120, or no, he said 100. He said basically you're gonna bring like 40 of it home. You know what I mean? After you get through paying taxes and then paying people and stuff like that, you're gonna bring 40 of it home. So yeah, man, that's it, man. But back to what we was talking about, man, with Chris Paul, right? Now, Chris Paul. First of all, how do y'all feel about them sending Chris Paul home? And this supposed to be the year his retirement tour.
Right.
What are y'all thoughts on that?
You can go ahead, Click.
Well, no, I was just surprised that they did it that way. Yeah. You know, regardless if there's any kind of friction, I'm just surprised that they did that, you know. But for them to do that, I just feel like he had to do something to really agitate the organization to do them like that, you know, just to send them home in the middle of the night, or, you know, on a road trip, just send them home like that. That's weird.
That was on a road trip. And the teammates, his teammates. Now I heard James Harden say he was surprised, but I haven't heard anybody else, you know what I'm saying, speak out saying that they were surprised or they were against that move since it happened. You know what I mean? So that speaks to something. You know, and then, like Clayton said, it's supposed to be his last year, but everybody don't deserve a farewell tour, man. Everybody don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should expect a farewell tour. You know, players retire every year without a farewell tour. You know,
you
know, Draymond said that. Draymond said that. Paul Pierce. He said that to Paul Pierce. Like, man, what you think? You Kobe? You ain't Kobe, man. You ain't getting So yeah, it's not like everybody deserve and it seems like, you know, people expect everybody to have a farewell tour and things like that. But
yeah. So yeah, I just think that, man, like the thing is, like Chris Paul has been the kind of player that over the years has rubbed a lot of people, a lot of his teammates the wrong way, right? And so when you do that, you gain that type of reputation. I mean, this just a situation where I think where it just came back to bite him. You know, he used to having a certain amount of say so or being, you know, you can do that when you producing. Then once you get to the point where you're no longer producing, and you don't have that type of leverage no more, then stuff like this happen. And this just, you know, this just show like how people, they wait for your downfall. And then, you know what I mean? Like when you're the most vulnerable, stuff like this happen.
And somebody tried to compare that with Jordan going to the Wizards and everything. And I got offended behind that shit, man. I say, man, Chris Paul ain't won nothing, man. You can't compare the two, man. You know, even though you can look at him as an elder statesman, so to speak, you can't compare those two situations at all, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, Chris Paul hasn't won, and it's funny how people move the goalposts when they want to say, well, this guy's this because he won, and this guy isn't because he hasn't won. You know, he never should. To me, he never should have been mentioned in no damn top 5 points. And all that old type of bullshit.
Chris Paul shouldn't have. You don't think?
No. Yeah, I don't think he shouldn't have. Was
he one of the top 75 players of all time? Did he rank on that?
No, I don't think he was on that.
He's not one of the 75.
No, I remember Dame Lillard being on there, and I was like, ain't no way Dame Lillard supposed to be on there, right? But I don't think Chris was on there, but I could be wrong. I
think he might be.
But I don't think he'll top 75 guard. Not in my opinion. I don't think Chris Paul.
No, I'm just saying, did he make the list? I think he made it though.
Yeah. I think he did make top 75. Yeah, but I don't think he's a top 75 player.
What's the name make it? Gary Payton. Did Gary Payton make top 75? He did.
Yes. Okay. I think he did. Yeah. See, now, regardless of Chris Paul's personality and relationship with players, people not liking him, I just feel like this was something more in terms of bucking authority. I don't think it was about his relationship with players. It had to be bucking authority. It had to be.
With him bucking
something
authority?
Against the authority on the team, like coach and the ministry, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. What's the guy named Lawrence Franks? They said that Chris Paul kind of saying some things against the organization and stuff. But like I said, when you are producing on the court, you can, those type of shenanigans, you can get away with it. But as soon as you're not, producing on the court, then they waiting for this opportunity.
And they say him and Tyronn Lue hadn't spoken in a couple of weeks.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, they hadn't spoken in a couple of weeks.
And Kendrick Perkins made a statement about they set the defense and they told one of the younger players to do something, and then Chris Paul went to the younger player, told him don't do that shit, to undermine it. So
yeah. And that makes sense.
That's interesting.
That makes sense why they sent them home. Yeah.
Well, and see, that's why I said when you like the point guard on the floor is supposed to be the bridge between the coach and the teammates. You know what I mean? And so if the point guard break that chain and break or destroy that bridge, then good to the coach and good to, because you know what I mean, really no good to the players when you do stuff like that. So that's why I never really saw Chris Paul as being a great leader, and I never saw him as a top 75 of all time basketball player.
Well, let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this though. He was the captain on that Phoenix team.
Right.
They went to the finals. Mm-hmm. He also, when he got to the Clippers, they did turn it around with him on that team. And he seemed like he was the captain and, running the show. He does have some solid relationships in the league, like our boy Melo. Melo loves him,
Yeah, well,
so
let's get into that, right?
Yeah, I mean, because sometimes personalities clash. Everybody ain't meant for everybody. So, just because there's a lot of players that don't like him, it could be plenty of players that do. And his style of leadership and the way he run things, it might rub some the wrong way, but others it might not.
Yeah, well, let's listen to what Melo say. I want to respond to what Melo said about that situation, because like sometimes players, before I play it, sometimes people put themselves in a position where they are, crying and they complain about like, woe is me, when you can avoid these type of situations. And I'm gonna tell you what I mean after we finish listening to Melo.
Yes, sir.
Hold up. As soon as I want to play something, it's saying hang tight. These computers, man, is wild. But let me get back. Let me see about it.
And then him and Melo.
It's a fucked up situation. Imagine CP right now. He's embarrassed that my own organization that I brought back to relevance is on me. We ain't talking about what I'm doing right now or what have you done for me lately. You fuck with my legacy now. This is the fucked up side of the sport. And I know a lot of people say, well, Chris Paul is older, but you still don't do that. You should treat that with a level of respect, because now you playing with somebody's legacy. It ain't about wins and losses right now. I should have enough respect for you and your legacy not to let you go out like this. You got 4 months here. The guy's retiring in April.
So what's his next most logical step career-wise?
Go be with your family, bro. Lock into Chris. It's going to be an ego hit because you ain't going to want to go out like that because it's embarrassing. But what's going to keep you strong is your kid. kids. I get to live through my son right there. And I'm speaking from experience. And he's similar because he got a son that's on his way up too.
All right, so my thing, what I would say to Melo about that situation, if from day one, if Chris Paul had treated his teammates and his peers with respect and stuff like that, then he wouldn't have the image that he had as far as not being able to get along with certain teammates. And you have more players coming out to pile on than you have players coming out to defend Chris Paul, right? So, and I say that because if you had a respect of your peers, then that gives you leverage. Now, if, for instance, if Chris Paul had stayed in LA if he had been in LA for his entire career, then that would have also given him leverage because his fan base is not fragmented. Chris Paul played for, I can name like 6 teams that he played for. So when the teams make these kind of decisions to get rid of and to treat somebody in what we might seem or think is in an unfair way, they consider how this is going to affect what's going to be the blowback, how this is going to affect the fan base, right? And so it goes back to it's all Chris Paul's fault. So you can't say one man should never be worried about another man affecting his legacy. You in charge of your own legacy by the way you live and the way you treat people.
And I think them bringing Chris Paul back this year, they weren't expecting much from him. They knew this was going to be his last year, things like that. Man, just come and be sort of like an ambassador, give the young players, a little bit of advice. You know what I mean? During game time, you know what I'm saying? Game situational experience and things like that. And what Clayton was saying, you come in and then you try to buck the system or say, you know what I mean? Well, you know what I mean? Tyrone, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. Don't do that. Do this, right? No, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because I don't think they was expecting much production because he hasn't been productive the last couple seasons. He been bounced around a couple times. So they just brought him back. Come on home, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? This your last season, man. Give a little bit of experience to the young guys. People sort of like ambassador to the team, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah. Like a big brother, a buffer between the coach and them younger guys, if you will. You the buffer between the coach, you know what I mean, to the young guys, and you translating a lot of things to make their transition easier. And it was the total opposite. It was like it was a total opposite.
Did Chris Paul mentor Shea Gilgeous-Alexander?
Absolutely he did. Absolutely he did. That boy monster too. Absolutely he did. Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I understand, guys make great points, but here again, I just think this incident is about something a lot more severe. I don't think it's about his reputation overall, because here again, the Clippers had him. Why bring him back if you know just the type of individual he is? Why even bring him back?
It's a different regime. It's a different coach. You got a different team. Okay. And they want him like, all right, man, finish your career with the Clippers. That's why you had most of your success.
Well, let's look at Ty Lue though. Ty Lue been around the league, whether he coached them or not. Those guys know who people are. Ty Lue has been in the league for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So even if it's a different regime, you got people on that team, on our organization, that can push back against bringing him back. You know what I'm saying? Now, at this point,
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish your point. Go ahead.
At this point, I don't believe any of them have any say in them, whether or not they sent them home or not, because the Clippers ain't good. So Kawhi, James Harden, nobody else, their word ain't shit right now, even though they star players, because the Clippers ain't good. When you're good and you're a star player, you got more weight. Your words carry something. So I don't think the players had anything to do with it. It was something really severe that made them do this to him. Like, nah, you go home, we done. Like that. But like I said, all things aren't necessarily bad when you look at Chris Paul, because he, like you say, he mentored Shea Gilgeous. That was a teammate of his, so I understand, I understand how it is, but I'm just one of them people that, I believe purpose. I believe in purpose, and I believe everything has a positive impact on something, even the negativity. So, I know he can be arrogant. I know they say he's arrogant. He's the player rep and stuff like that. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But then again, we all got it. We all know this too. Sometimes, man, people can be envious of you. Like say for instance, you in the workplace, you get a certain role, and now you start exercising the power within that role. And people that look like you don't like that. They don't want to hear it coming from you. So now that can cause some resentment. I'm not saying that's the case here with Chris Paul, but I'm just saying, how people are. Egos are real fragile, man. And, you say certain things to certain players, you want to hold people accountable. They can take exception to that.
Yeah, but but when I'm thinking about strictly about Chris Paul, right, and holding people accountable, I think about other guys who have been successful but didn't do it the way Chris Paul did. You know what I mean? That's why I mentioned guys like Jason Kidd. They don't have that reputation. Drew Holiday don't have that reputation. And Mike Conley even been around for a long time. When you talking to you 6'1" and you talking to a man that is you talk to dudes that's 7 feet tall. Only thing that's keeping them from putting their hands on you is the fact that you have more leverage on that team than them, right? And Kenyon Martin even spoke to that, right? Kenyon Martin said that Chris Paul said something to him about a play that went wrong, and he didn't like that, right? He told him that he will beat his ass, you know what I mean? He'll beat his ass, right?
Perfect example. You talking about Kenyon Martin.
Yeah, but no, because Kenyon Martin, he handled it a certain way, and that problem for him went away. Now, DeAndre Ayton.
But I understand, but I'm just saying, Kenyon Martin is very egotistical, the way he plays. He's aggressive. He's already got a temper. You understand what I'm saying? And to have another guy say something to him like that, I can see it rubbing him the wrong way. I'm not saying nothing bad against Kenyon. I'm just saying personalities, man, matter. I think Isaiah Thomas was a small guard that held people accountable on his team. I think he was blunt and talked direct, but nobody, stepped out of line with that. I believe Magic was as a matter of fact, the only person he kind of bowed down to was Kareem early on, but I believe Magic was like that. And don't let the smile fool you. I definitely know when it comes to winning, them guys be straight up holding each other accountable, saying what they need to say. So
but I'm not speaking. I'm talking about how you say it, right? You can correct Jason. Remember, Jason Kidd played with Kenyon Martin too, right? And they didn't have any problem. So Jason Kidd is a leader, but Jason Kidd is also a different personality who handle people differently than Chris Paul. So you can play with Kenyon Martin. He's not an unreasonable person.
I didn't say you can't. I'm
saying that, that's why I'm using Jason Kidd, Drew Holiday, those guys who have had success. You got to be mindful of how you talk to your peers, especially you talking to grown men.
I'm just going to say like the personalities, right? Kenyon Martin personality and Jason Kidd personality could have been good chemistry. So they could have a certain kind of dialogue with each other without it getting offensive. Just like, everybody's not going to, I don't care how well you speak and how much grace you apply. It's all in the receiver receiving it. And if they don't have good chemistry and don't feel a certain way toward you, I don't care how you say it, it's going to be a problem. So I'm just saying, for as many people that dislike Chris Paul, and I'm not a Chris Paul guy, I'm just saying for as many that don't like him, it's probably players that do like him. It just depends on your personality, your genetic makeup, and how you look at him like that. That's all I was trying to say. I wasn't saying it like you couldn't play with Kenyon Martin. I'm not saying that at all.
No, I wasn't addressing what you were saying. I'm just saying that the way it's the difference. I'm comparing Chris Paul to other pure point guards, right? Pass first point guards, guys who set the table, and the leadership and their style of leadership, right? That's just like like the guy when we talk about the old coach Bobby Knight and the way he coached, like that kind of coaching style. It wore on people and it phased out towards the end. He had some success and it worked as long as it was acceptable, and as long as he was winning. But when he stopped winning, you know what I mean, they moved him out of there. They moved on from him.
I'm sorry, Tom.
No. It's all right. I was just saying, going back to the Kenya Martin thing, like, do you need to have a Kenya Martin type personality to deal with a Chris Paul? You know what I'm saying? Do you need that type personality? You know, when him and James Harden was in Houston, they clashed.
They did.
Right? They clashed in Houston, right? And then, not really, man. Y'all might kill me for this, man, but I really think if Chris Paul don't get hurt, I think they beat Golden State. I really do, man. I think if Chris Paul wouldn't have got hurt that series, man, but that hamstring, they had him on the ropes, man. They had him on the ropes.
You're right.
I think they would have beat Golden State, but him and Harden clashed down there. They even showed him in the timeout one time. You know what I'm saying? Sitting, what's his name was sitting, and Chris Paul walked up to him. He like smacked his hand away. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, get out of here. So,
is James Harden a person that clashes with teammates on other teams too?
I think. Well, I ain't gonna say he clashed with people. He just don't do what you expect a superstar to do.
I'm just saying.
James Harden clashed with his own teammates, you said?
He's had other situations where he clashed with teammates on other teams.
Yeah, but I think it's more so from his lack of production. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's necessarily a personality thing.
But it has to be, because if your lack of production is making you lash out, that's how you perceive things, and that's how you're looking at things. Some people, their lack of production don't make them lash out. Because of their attitude. Because of their attitude.
But I was looking at it the opposite way. His lack of production was getting his teammates to lash out at him. That's how.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're right. Not, I'm not.
No, it's all good. It's a good conversation. It's interesting though.
Right. It really is. And I ain't making, James Harden. No, I ain't no James Harden.
I just think and James Harden too has in my opinion, he's not like, his leadership skills are lacking. You know what I mean? Because the if you on any sport, any basketball team, like the common goal is to win, right? And to get advanced as far as you can. And Doc Rivers even said this about James Harden, like sometimes his decision making, it could be better in certain situations. Like, you can be your own worst enemy, but if nobody can tell you that you are your worst enemy, then that's part of the problem too. When nobody can pull your coattail on certain things,
right?
Then you are, it's a
and not to cut you off, Mike, but Chris Paul and his leadership, they was up going back to them finals against Milwaukee. They was up 2-0.
Right.
They was up 2-0. I believe, I mean, of course, we have no way of knowing this, but I believe you supposed to get them over the hump. If you're the leader, you supposed to get them over the hump. I don't know.
The Aiden dude shut down because you know what I mean? Like the coach was on his back, and Chris Paul was on his back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You gotta talk. Hey, you gotta talk nice to him, whatever. Yeah, you gotta talk nice to him. Buy him some flowers, whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta keep them dialed in. You know what I'm saying?
So he had Booker on his back. He had Chris Paul on his back, and then he had what was the guy? What, Monty Williams?
Yep, Monty Williams. Yep.
Now, you as a player, that's your peer. Y'all can play good cop, bad cop. The coach is going to get on him, but you still gotta manage that situation as a point guard,
right?
To where as though this guy don't shut down. You know he big and sensitive, right?
And you need him. And you need him.
Yeah. And you need him. If he shut down, ain't nothing y'all can do with Giannis. Y'all had nobody out there that's going to be able to even phase Giannis. You need him at the peak of his game. So you cannot afford as a point guard to have this big dude shut down because he pissed off at, the coach and you and the other guy, Booker.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a situation I think that was mismanaged. They up 2-0.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a missed opportunity. Whereas though on the other end, you had Drew Holiday playing with Giannis and playing with Portis, playing with Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Drew Holiday set the table for them dudes on the offensive end. Then when he go down defense, he was locking, you know what I mean? He was locking them down.
Yep.
So it's two different leadership styles.
Yeah. But to me,
go ahead, Clay.
No, you go ahead, Tom.
No, because I was going to pivot a little bit. So go ahead and stay here.
No, I was just saying, as far as those leadership styles, Michael Jordan's leadership style was very dog players out, be hard on them, try to pull them, and it worked for him. So,
you know why though?
Yeah, I want a piece of that too. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know why it worked though, Clayton? Because it was Mike was holding people to Mike wanted people to do things that he was willing to do. And you're going to see the results of it. You understand? You're going to see the results of it. I'm gonna get y'all there. I'm gonna get y'all now. I'm gonna get y'all there. I'm gonna get y'all over the hump. You understand? But I need you to do X, Y, Z.
But the personalities on that team was a major part of it, because I don't care if you can do it and you're gonna do it too. If I don't like the way you coming at me, I can give up on your ass. I don't give a shit if you're gonna do or show me or the results are gonna be there. If I don't like how you talking to me, I can quit on your ass.
Well, let me say this.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
If you quit on Mike, like Scotty did before, if you quit on Mike, Mike can do it. The difference between Michael Jordan and Chris Paul is trying to get you to maximize your potential. Yeah. Michael Jordan, he is 6'6" and he can lock up on both ends. You know what I mean? He's gonna perform on both ends. Chris Paul on defense is a liability and cannot guard, right? So Chris Paul is trying to get this guy to play. Chris Paul can't do what he was trying to get that guy to do. Mike would get rebounds, Mike would get steals, and then Mike gonna go down on the other end and score. So Chris Paul could not do that. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you this though, Clayton, when you talk about guys quitting on you and checking out, so to speak. I'm not saying it didn't happen during the era when Mike played and Isaiah and them, but it happened a lot less because athletes was less coddled then than they are now. I think that happens more so now because these players, my pop always said, so used to being treated special. More so back then in that era, you talk about in the 80s and 90s, man, athletes weren't, you got to earn your keep around here. You know what I'm saying? You got to earn your keep around here. So that was more so an attitude thing, more so than anything.
Just imagine if that time when Mike banged the shit out of Steve Kerr in practice, punched him in his face, right? Now, granted, Mike called him afterwards and mended it. But just imagine if that assault on him made him, and he was the type of person that didn't like that, regardless of Mike calling him or not, that could have made him quit on that team. You understand what I'm saying? And want to be moved and want to be traded. It could have actually created some bad discourse for that team. But the person, it all starts with the individual, is what I'm saying. And how the individual perceives everything that's coming their way and how they choose to navigate it. So I agree with you guys in terms of, different styles and stuff like that. But I'm just saying that it comes down to those individuals,
I think it comes down to margin of error, right? It comes down to like Mike. Mike could afford to do that because Mike is exceptional, right? Kobe could afford to do that because Kobe 6'7", like I said, a two-way ball player, right? When Draymond Green punched Jordan Poole, did they win a championship after that? They went back a year after, or a couple years after.
A year after that, something. Yeah, they won another one, but it wasn't that year, I don't believe.
Right, yeah,
but don't quote
after after they had that. So the same thing I think would have happened with the Bulls. If Mike would have punched Steve Kerr, and then Steve Kerr would have been like, man, somebody hand me my coat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they couldn't have success moving forward. I'm just saying that could have been a problem. That could have been out in the media. That could have turned ugly, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
did.
all I'm saying.
I mean, it was a problem. It was ugly, but it's just like it's the margin of error.
It really wasn't, though. It really wasn't ugly at the time.
Well, not compared to today's, because everything, we got 24-hour news,
right,
Instagram, social media, so it's different. I think it was something that Phil Jackson said he had to talk to guys. You know what I'm saying? Because the way he was running his practices, it led to a lot of. You know what I'm saying?
It led to that.
It led to a lot of stuff. The way he was running.
And one good thing Phil did, Phil kicked Mike out of practice when he did that shit.
Yeah, he did. He did.
He kicked his ass out. But that's interesting.
Mike even said that he not, you know, that's something that Michael Jordan is not even proud of, the fact that he, you know,
that he punched him.
You know, we all know a leader, you know what I mean, a difference between a, you know what I mean, effective leader, you know, is a difference between, you know, saying
and
go do that
whatever,
as opposed to let's go do that. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody, y'all go do this as opposed to let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? So
and no matter what we want to say about Chris Paul's leadership style, he's had success. He didn't get the title, but he got to the title games. He's had success.
That's all relative, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's relative. You know what I mean?
He definitely has success. I mean,
my point is,
he didn't win the title, but he got there. I mean, he got there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I think but I question though, like I said, if you manage DeAndre Jordan in a different way, do y'all get over the hump? If you manage DeAndre Ayton over a different way, do y'all get over the hump? And what I'm comparing that to is guys who didn't have that leadership style.
We forgetting about one thing. That shit fell on Doc Rivers.
I'm talking about.
But that's why they didn't win, because of Doc Rivers.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about, you know, I'm not even considering the coach Monty Williams and stuff like that, right? I'm just talking about the leadership style. What's up,
but
Retro?
You said if he managed DeAndre Jordan different, they get over the hump. And I think they didn't get over the hump. The Clippers, when they had that loaded team with Blake, was because of Doc Rivers.
Let me say this.
And even Tunk just said in Houston, if he don't get hurt with that hamstring, he believed they get past Golden State.
I do.
He had opportunities to get over the hump. He had it in Phoenix. He had it in Phoenix. He had it in Houston, and he had it in LA. Right. He had opportunities, right? But I think, you know, when you got a point guard, like take for instance Rajon Rondo, right? Rajon Rondo was kind of like somebody who he you know like to go to the beat of his own drum too. But those guys, Garnett and Wichita told him that they will whip his ass. You know what I mean? Like you need to do certain things we want you to do, because the dude wasn't paying Doc no attention. So the other players were like, look, man, we need you to do this and do that. You know, so some guys you got to rein them in. Somebody got to be on the team that can rein those guys in.
And Rondo would cuss them guys out too.
Right.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Rondo
yes, he would.
Guys out too.
The Celtics just had a superior team, man. They was just the best team. They had all them scores on the floor. Yes. Rondo don't care about none of that shit.
No, he don't.
He don't. He didn't, man. He didn't.
That's real.
Yeah, I was always a Rondo fan, man.
I like Rondo too. Yeah, man. I like Rondo. But
it's interesting though. I mean, like I said, I'm not a Chris Paul guy, but I'm just saying we got to take in considerations personalities, man. You know, some players get along and some don't. And you know, we've all got those guys at work that get certain positions and people want to call them house ends and stuff like that. People resent them, but listen, you know,
I just think, you know, we talk about relative prime when Chris Paul was in his prime. You know, there's a lot more leeway. There's a lot more leeway. There's a lot more things he can get away with when he's in his prime. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? You talking about his last season. And Melo said, man, you got till April or May, whatever he said, man, a couple more months and it's over. That's how Chris Paul should be looking at it. Like, man, I'm just kicking back, man. I'm going to the practices, man, shoot some jump shots, man. You know, I'm not really you know, I don't want to be in here, especially I don't want to be in here going against the coach, no matter what my personal feelings are about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want these guys to feel like it's okay to buck the coach. You know what I mean? So he definitely, if he was, I'm not saying he was, but if he was some guys, you know what I'm saying, to go against the coach or not listen to the coach or, you know what I'm saying, doing games and practice, whatever, I don't think that was good. I don't think that was good.
Well, it's hard to be something that you're not, right? So how many times, like, I don't know if you guys ever did this, but you got an area about your how you perceive things, and some things you don't want to do anymore. Like you don't want to react to certain things a certain way. So you practicing and you're working hard on yourself not to do it. But the minute you get triggered, you do it. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes, man, you just are who you are. You know, even in your twilight years, he gets triggered by what he gets triggered by, and he reacts to what he reacts to, and the way he sees it is the way he sees it. So his behavior is going to always be dictated by his genetic makeup, you know, to a certain degree.
See, that's interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up in a sense, because as men, right, we can't afford to be emotional. You know what I'm saying? So even if you know something is a trigger, we should have enough self-control to not let that dictate how you react to certain things. Even if you, especially in our twilight years, as you say, we should have more emotional control. You know what I'm saying? And how we react to things. Like, you know, we say it all the time. Oh man, if I was just 20 years ago, I'd punch you in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like that. And then the excuse is, oh man, that's just how I am. You got to take ownership, and you got to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to hold yourself accountable to how you move as you get older. You know what I mean? Wisdom and maturity is supposed to take place and take precedent over all that other stuff. That's just my
and that's true. And that sounds great in theory, but every single person don't necessarily evolve as they age. It's a lot of people that do, but everybody don't.
No, of course not. But that's not good either. And that's not that's not good, and that's not something you should make an excuse about. Oh man, I'm just because if you're in the same spot,
it's not an excuse.
The great Muhammad Ali said this, man. If you're in the same spot mentally as you were at 40, as you were at 20, you done wasted 20 years. So it's like, okay, yeah, you know, like you can always fall back on, oh man, that's just how he is. Oh, that's just what he was. Or yeah, I just crashed out. That's what they say now. I just crashed out. He always been that way. Nah, man, you have to change. Now, of course, everybody doesn't, but you got a lot of people in the cemetery and in them jails, man, because that's how they are. That's how their makeup is and things like that. And that's not a good thing.
As much as I love Muhammad Ali, no years have been wasted. Everything is serving a purpose. Everything is working towards something. Now, us looking at somebody's life and judging their life based on what we think waste is, that's our perception looking at that person. You understand what I'm saying? No. I love Muhammad Ali,
right?
But I wouldn't necessarily say nobody's life is wasted.
No. He didn't say your life was wasted.
He said if your mind stays in the same place and you haven't evolved as waste, I don't see it like that anymore.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. But I love Ali. Yeah. And I understand that point, you know.
Yeah, I just think it was like a waste. I get that point. I mean, just like if you riding down the street, you going west, and then 15 minutes into the ride, you feel like oh man, I should have been going east. I just wasted 15 minutes. So
because that's how you perceive it. But it's something else at work, and you really didn't waste it, but you just can't see it.
Yeah, I mean, I see it as, like I said, man.
Everything is not necessarily divine intervention. You know what I'm saying? Everything is not, you know what I mean, where you can just chalk up as something being, you know what I mean, philosophical, or, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just that you got to stand on your square, man, and you know what I'm saying, and call a spade and say, no, you know what I mean, that's not right. You can't, you say you don't like using the word excuse, but you can't excuse it as, oh man, I did this, but something, you know what I mean?
Well, man is flawed, and man makes rules and standards and stuff, but he's flawed as a human being. So, I mean, I can't say what's right or wrong and stuff like that. Now, I understand you said you don't think everything is divine intervention, and it's not based on how you see it. But I don't look at it as divine intervention. I just look at everything as divine. And there's a divine plan, and every single thing matters and is being used for something. But people don't see it because they can't see it, which is nothing wrong with that. I understand that, but I can see that it is. So for me, nothing is wasted. That's all I was saying. But I understand your point. And for you, ain't no making no excuse for certain things, and I respect that. But for me, I just nothing's wasted in my through my lens. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what my man Rick says that I saw Felix Trinidad fight for the championship outdoors of Caesar Palace 20 years ago after Muhammad Ali lost to Larry Holmes in the same place in 1980. Okay.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, man, you know, I forgot they used to have them fights outside, man.
Outside.
Like in the parking lot out there, man. They say they had a ring set up in the parking lot, man. They used to have fights. Yeah, they sure did.
Y'all remember Riddick Bowe fight? The guy came down in the parachute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now,
That was crazy.
Was that the Evander fight or that was Galata fight? What fight was
I
that?
think it was Evander.
I think it was Riddick Bowe Evander, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Was it?
I think so.
I know it was a big championship fight. Yeah.
It was a big fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this guy come down in a hang glider.
sure did.
Let me
Sure
see.
did.
That stuff
was
gets
crazy,
staged, man.
man.
It gotta do. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. You know what I mean? That's crazy, man. Nobody see this dude, man. I mean, I know you ain't looking up, you know me during the fight, but I'm just saying, man. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's switch gears here, Jim. Let's talk about this that NIL. The NIL deal with Georgia, man. Like what's going on with that?
Well, what I saw, they had a player that transferred out of Georgia to Missouri.
Yeah.
But Georgia had gave them, you know what I mean, some money. Georgia is suing them for that. Georgia is suing them for that. And I think, man, this might start some type of, what you call it, whereas though when players come in and they sign that they got, and I don't even know if they're doing that now. I'm not sure. Maybe y'all could help educate me on that. I don't know if you come in and you take an NIL deal from a particular school that you're telling them that you're committing for a year or 2 or 3, you know, something like that. I don't know if that's going on, but I think they're gonna start holding them players to that though. I think they're gonna start if they're doing.
Yeah.
I think they should, like, you know, at least 1 year contract. Like you got to honor this 1 year contract, right? And then they pay you based on like year to year. Scholarships are year to year.
Yeah.
So why should the contracts be year to year? You know, all right. You know, and sometimes, but what it'll hurt the kid because if the scholarship is from year to year, then and you don't produce that year, then your value go down. Or if a kid is going to try to meet certain incentives, they're going to do like they do in the NFL. If you need 12 more yards to get to 1,000 yards, and that 1,000 yards mean that the coach or that school got to pay you more money.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Now they, you know, it's going to be like it's going to be kind of those kind of things that's going to come up where the kids are going to be. I mean, you're a professional athlete now, and you know, those are the kind of things that you got to think about.
Yeah.
I didn't think I want to know this whole deal with what Jim put in there, and I read it up on it too. It's like they I think he signed 300. What was that? How much money was it, Tom? 390 or something.
Yeah.
But they only paid him 100 and something thousand.
Right.
But they trying to sue him for the whole 390. That I don't understand.
Now Clayton. So that make me think he signed maybe a 2-year commitment or a 3-year commitment. And then he left, but they got his signature saying he committed there for 3 years for 390. And maybe that's why they going after the whole, you know what I mean?
But if I didn't pay you 390,
right? I know.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not liable to you for 390. I'm only liable to you for what you paid me.
I think they suing him for that entire amount because the kid probably think that even if I don't play, y'all owe me this money because I'm on contract. Like it's almost like a guaranteed, like a guaranteed NBA contract, right?
Right.
You know,
yeah, that's what.
So that might
but,
be.
but if they didn't pay him,
No, but I mean the same thing with like the NBA. Like if you sign a contract for $20 million and you get hurt, or if the team send you home, they still on the hook for that 20 mil. Unless you do something that's.
Yeah, you're right, Clayton. They only gave him what's the name, but it got to be some type of binding contract. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they trying to go for. Because if he gone now, it ain't like he gonna come back and get the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? But I think this is going to. I don't know if you remember. This might have been last year or 2 seasons ago. It was a quarterback that went to UNLV, and he had signed the contract. I don't take the contract part out. He was promised, I think, a certain amount. And when he got to the school, instead of getting that amount that he was told word of mouth, it was a lot less.
Yeah.
He quit the team.
I remember that.
Remember that? And he quit the team and went somewhere else. I mean, after he had played games and started for him. I mean, he quit. He said, because y'all said y'all was going to give me X, Y, Z, and y'all didn't.
And I didn't get it. Yep.
And he quit. So it's something going on, man. It's something going to be going on with these NILs. I don't think they're going to go away, but I think they're more ironclad type. I mean, they're going to be holding them schools and the athletes to what them contracts are, man.
Bro, they already got a projected growth of NIL for the next so many years. They got investors and everything else. So when you're projecting a certain amount of growth and revenue that's going to get generated from NIL, it ain't going nowhere. No. But I definitely know that they're going to have a lot more complex contracts, and they're going to have a lot more stuff in these contracts holding these kids. Yeah. And I definitely think they're going to regulate that transfer portal.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt.
They could do that, and I ain't got no problem with guys transferring. You know what I mean? But man, they had one guy. He played for like 4 schools in 3 years. I mean, 4 schools in 4 years or something. He was transferring every Tuesday, man. Yeah, I think they definitely gonna regulate that more. But like you say, Clayton, there's so much money because they were saying it was some team, man, that won yesterday. They won yesterday. They say, man, they got like billionaires, multi-millionaires, man, just funneling money into the program. I can't remember what school it was, though. I want to say it was A&M, but I'm not sure. Texas.
I say it's got to be them schools in Texas.
You know what I mean? Right. Right. It was Texas. Yep.
Let me ask y'all this though, right? So do y'all think that means like Texas, Oregon, like those schools that got them deep pockets, even Alabama can't even keep up with like those schools in Texas, man. Do y'all think that's going to make those teams like always have the best players and be at the top of the when it comes to having all the best players because they got more money to spend?
I think it's heading that way. Not Alabama. Take Alabama out because they heavyweights. So they always gonna get, even with Saban gone, I think they always gonna get, big time recruits.
Yeah.
They heavyweights, name, name recognition, things like that. Guys still want to play with Alabama because their history of whatever. But
what about Notre Dame though?
You see, them guys gonna have to get on board. This way the train going now. So you got to get on board now. You can't sit back and say, well, nah, I'm not going to do this. We're above that. No, you're going to get left in the dust. You're going to get left in the dust, man, because you're going to miss out on a lot of big-time players, man, because other schools are paying. That's just what it is now.
Well, one good thing that's going to happen, though, I remember it was a time where Alabama, because they were such a conduit to the NFL, their depth chart was deep with starters, right? So people was willing to go there and sit and wait. You're not going to have that anymore.
Right.
So with that being said, the talent may get spread around because people paying and stuff like that.
And I can play now. You know what I'm saying?
I can play now. So that might help the competition a lot more. Because I mean,
that's an excellent point.
Yeah, you look now, fucking Indiana just knocked off Ohio State yesterday. Yep. Indiana.
Yep.
They undefeated.
Yep.
Where'd that come from? You know, is Indiana one of those powerhouses with deep pockets?
You wouldn't think.
Ohio State is,
Ohio State is, but Indiana,
right? Right.
I just think that. Well, Ohio State is one of the, they got the deep pockets too, and it don't do you no good as far as your NIL money is concerned to be sitting on a bench when you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So you're right, Clayton. That is going to spread the talent around because I want to go somewhere where I'm gonna be seen. I need to go somewhere where I'm gonna play now because that is, how I get my money and I improve my brand. So
And y'all just mentioned Oregon and Ohio State. What's the name? Just chose Ohio State over Oregon. Chris Henry Jr. Both of them was recruiting them, and he just committed to Ohio State. Yep.
So it's interesting.
So that it is interesting to see what they're going to do with this NIL, and I just think they're going to tighten them contracts.
They are, Mike. There's a whole bunch of regulation going to come into play with that stuff, man. Like you say, the transfer portal, I think that's going to be tied into it as well. And I think they're going to tell them guys, if you sign this contract, not only the school can go after you, but they might put that back in if you transfer after that. You still on the hook for that money. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're gonna go back to making you sit a year like they used to do, years ago. I don't think they're gonna go back to that. But it's gonna be like, man, you had to give us that bread back. If you sign here and you transfer before your commitment is up, we want that bread back.
Now, what about y'all think about a school that might have a reputation of screwing over kids when it comes to the NIL money, right? Because that could turn off recruits too. Like if you start suing these kids. And then a kid coming out a high recruit can be like, and man, I'm not going to Georgia.
I won't even mess with them.
So they got to be careful about that too.
Yeah, let's see how this play out for Georgia. If they get any kind of stigma behind what they're doing to this kid, or see what's going to happen. Yeah,
you're right. And see, then it makes them look like Clayton said. It makes them look like, well, why are you going after the whole 390 if you only gave him 100? If you want to go after them, just go after 100. But if he played this year, people say, well, he earned that 100 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He earned that. Leave him alone. Let him transfer out. You know, and that makes you think you let Missouri outbid you. I'm thinking if he went to Missouri probably gave him more money, right? So like you lost him to Missouri. Like, come on, you should be ashamed of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
What's that about?
Right. Like, man, come on.
But it could be about playing time, man. It could be about, I don't know. I don't even know. Was this kid a starter?
I'm not sure.
I would assume so, because like if you getting big NIL money, like, and you on the bench, like, I guess I don't know.
And
390 big? Because I think some of these kids getting millions.
So I'm about to say, is that considered big nowadays, right? I don't know.
On a football team, though, you got to figure on a football team, I think that would be big.
Okay.
The guy that left that Tunk was talking about, they promised him $3 million or $4 million or something more. He left for $3 or $4 million, something like that.
Yeah, they promised him like $3 million. And this was UNLV. So you're talking about
UNLV,
you're talking about, a powerhouse, you know what I'm saying, like a Georgia or Alabama, Texas or whatever. Yeah, so
I definitely think some of these kids, these top recruits, get mills. Remember when Deion flipped Travis Hunter? They got mad because they said Deion got some kind of local business involved to pay him over $1 million. That's how he was able to flip him from Florida State.
Really?
Yes.
I ain't know that.
Nick Saban came out against him. Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. I ain't know that.
Yeah, they said he got paid him millions, like 1 million or 2 million, something like that. That's how he flipped them.
No, I ain't know.
Deion said I ain't had nothing to do with that, such and such. But
I don't know about it. Right.
I'll never forget that story. Yeah.
That's the same thing with that Kawhi thing and with the Clippers. You get a person to come in, But look, right? They're saying, I don't know if y'all heard this, they're saying that Colorado, their athletic program is in the red.
That's what they saying.
That's what they saying, right? They saying in the red that they can't afford to play Dion assistants, because you know Marshall Faulk just left and took that Southern job.
Yeah.
You know, they say they can't afford to pay his assistants. And they brought up Warren Sapp, right? I said, well, Warren Sapp, he the D-line coach. He not the defensive coordinator.
Nope.
How much is the D-line coach? I mean, how much you expect them to get? You know what I'm saying? But they're saying, like you say, they operating in the red.
Yeah.
And, you know, they said when they signed Dion, remember they came out and said, man, we don't know how we're gonna pay him. We ain't got the money to pay him. We don't know how you're gonna pay.
But the thing that's interesting with Colorado, they sold out every game. They always sell out. Their merchandise sell out. Their TV on TV. You know what I'm saying? They're getting TV. That's interesting to me, Tom. This whole day in the red thing.
Where do you think they going with it, though? I think they saying that because, and I don't believe it, but I think they putting that out there because they trying to take us down this road, man. If they start cutting other sports, you understand? If they start cutting other sports and things like that, that's why they trying to put that out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't believe it either. I don't believe it.
I'm
trying to get
it's hard to believe,
man. A couple of years ago, I went on the line, man. They were sold out. They were sold out.
Yeah.
And that first year when they came,
oh, it was crazy.
Halfway through the season, I know they made a whole bunch of money.
But he was selling out the spring game, man. They say the spring game was sold out, man. They said, man, they selling out the spring game stuff, man. Yeah.
Now, when they started losing, their attendance didn't fall off? It continued?
No, nope. What happened is once they be getting blown out, the stadium empties out.
Oh, okay.
But every Colorado game is sold out.
Yeah, see, I ain't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, you just don't see the people on the sidelines, you know what I mean, with the grill and shit like before. Yeah, doing the line dances and shit like that. You don't see that before, like when he first got there.
Not that stuff, but no, they stay packed. Man, Dion, man, let me say, his presence, his energy, the way he sell these people on the idea of what they're going to do next week, he knows how to do that. And man, them people, they locked in. Every game, they waiting to see the turnaround, you know? It's like that. They waiting for that thing to flip, to turn around. So
you think
now,
gonna
I don't know what's going to happen next year, though.
Right.
It's an uphill battle, Mike. It's an uphill battle, Mike. I mean, it's like, you know, he got a lot of holes in that team, man. And I think Dion, man, got to start committing to running the football, man. You know, I understand your son was there. You wanted to showcase him to get him drafted, okay, but he got a decent quarterback now. They said that young guy up there now is pretty nice. But you got to make some commitment to running the ball, man.
But this OC they brought in, that's what he do. He's got this sophisticated run game. So now you got to ask this question. Is this kid Juju going to be satisfied with they taking his passing attempts and lessening them?
The quarterback?
Yes.
Okay. But he young though. He like a freshman. Ain't he like a red shirt freshman or something? He young.
I think
he young. He a freshman. He's a straight freshman.
Oh, he's a true freshman. Okay.
But the thing is, you come there, you see how much they throw. If you're a quarterback, you're trying to get to the league and you want your numbers and your stats and all this kind of stuff. You want to go to a program that throw. Now they did that, but it didn't work out. So now you getting ready to change the whole program around.
Remember a couple years ago, he got that transfer from Notre Dame. He was a running back. The dude supposed to have been nice.
Yeah.
He ain't getting no carries, man. He said he ain't get hardly no carries, man. He supposed to have been nice, man. And he got him to come in from Notre Dame. And he went to Colorado, man, and he didn't.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how it pan out there in Colorado.
Yeah.
Because that quarterback can play.
Yeah. And they say, man, you know, you stick with them or whatever. They get, make some noise with them. You know, how many wins they got this year? How many wins they had this year? 4, 3?
3.
Yeah,
3 and 9?
Yep.
Damn. Yeah. Dion got to be able to talk that talk 3 and 9. Boy, you got to be able to talk that talk.
You know how to talk.
Yeah. He got you. Damn. But 4 and 8 ain't much better. But 4 and 8 ain't much better. But I ain't know they only had 3 wins though. But
right. Let me ask y'all this about before we move on. The dude, what's the guy that Odell Beckham, and he talking about his money situation, right? What y'all think about that, Odell Beckham? going through all that money.
I don't hear people talk like this who sign $100 million contracts. I heard it a time or two. They say, man, after you sign $100 million, you only get 60. 40 of it is gone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Man, it depends on how you live it, right? Yeah. Can you live the rest of your life and set up generational wealth with $60 million, right? It depends on how you live it, right? None of us is going to sit up there and say, oh, man, you can't live off that, set up generational wealth. So you got to look at yourself in the mirror, man, and like, man, what type of lifestyle am I living that $60 million won't sustain me? You know what I mean? For the next 20, 25 years, man. And I'm talking about nothing else coming in. I'm just talking about,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about investments and endorsements and things like that. I'm just talking about you just got $60 million and you can't live. I don't know how many children he had, everything. I don't know if he's taking care of his parents. I don't know. I really don't know. But
he gotta basically live with that kind of money. If, like you said, nothing else coming in, you gotta live. You gotta have the house and the lifestyle of somebody that's just like probably like middle class.
But
you know, in order, like if you don't spend, if you don't have nothing coming in, huh?
Because say like if you get a house for yourself, condo, whatever, it's paid off. So it's not, you don't need 3 different homes and 3 different, one in Florida, one in Vegas, one in California. You only get one home, pay it off. All you're doing is paying the taxes on it now. You know what I'm saying? All you're doing is paying the taxes on that. Now, coming from a guy who like cars, like I say, you lease them. Instead of going out and buying Bugattis and Lamborghinis and stuff, you lease the vehicles. You know what I'm saying? You just got to be a little smarter in how you spend your money, man. That's way crazier than what what's the name said, Spreewell said back in the day. You know, when he turned down that $30 million, said, man, I gotta feed my family. And he got killed for it, man. You talk, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. That's something I can't relate to. Hey, look, I wish I had that problem trying to live on $60 million. You know? I wish I had that problem, but hey, man, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it is some kind of accounts. It's accounts that he can put money away in that grow in interest, escrow each year. You know, that can earn them, you know, a couple of million, depending on how much you put away.
That's right.
You know, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. And I know you have to pay taxes on that, what you earn, even through interest. But you know, it's got to be ways, man. It's got to be.
It has to, man. You know what I mean? And Odell, I don't know the context of how this, you know what I mean, topic came up. No one's feeling sorry for him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no one's feeling sorry for him. Like I say, I don't understand the context in which it came up, though. But
yeah, I mean, he said he's gonna be all right. You know what I mean? He said,
I'm sure he is, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Shit, you can even what's them government contracts? I forget what they call, but you can invest in that. And in so many years, you get so much back on your money. It's so many things you can put your money into that are constantly having it growing for you.
Now,
you know, so
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Me and I'm a novice when it comes to a lot of that stuff, man. So, you know, if I run across a guy, somebody say, "Hey, man, this is what you can do with your money," man, I would be so skeptical. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, if I give you X amount of dollars and I don't get it back, you know about these things inside and out. I don't. So you can tell me anything, and then I done lost $250,000 or $500,000. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, you know, you got to educate yourself on a lot of things.
Yes, you do have to educate
the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. It's just like playing. Can't nobody learn how to play basketball for you.
Right.
You know, you got to play for yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and so these guys, some people, they want to step into earning passive income, but you, just like you learned how to play football and that's what got you that money, you got to learn a whole nother skill.
Exactly.
You know, that's going to help you to maintain a lifestyle that you become accustomed to.
Yeah, and you almost got to put in just as much time and dedication too.
Oh, hell yeah.
You have to put in just as much time and dedication too, man. So,
you know, my theory, when you get older, I mean, not even just getting older, if you can do without a lot of the stuff, if you could detach a little bit and just be happy with the peace of mind that financially you don't have to worry about anything. It don't always have to be about getting the gaudy stuff and flaunting and this, that, and the other, man. To me, I remember being a young kid, man, and we lived on Oyo Road, a modest house. But I used to think to myself, man, we could just pay this house off and didn't have to spend money out on it. Just pay you know what I mean? That'd be comfort. That'd be peace. You know, so sometimes, man, it's just about having peace and knowing I'm covered as opposed to spending it all, you know? So
always on that chase.
Yeah.
Let me see what my man Time. Welcome back to the chat. Kent Carlson, welcome back. Andrew. Let me see what Time said. Ohio State slept on Indiana, and that's when you get, you know, a play. Let me see. We can schedule gambling at Wichita State College. Yeah, I mean, you know, like Ohio State fell asleep. They was looking past them.
I didn't see the whole game, but what I saw in that Ohio State, their offense didn't look good, man. Their offense didn't look good.
They scored like 10 points.
Yeah, they only scored
10. Yeah,
that's crazy.
The defense, which is the strength of the team, that's the best part of the team. And you know they got to do Patricia down there running their defense, but you know. The defense played, to me, solid. They gave up some key third down conversions late, you know what I'm saying, in the game.
Yeah.
One of them was a deep pass. I don't know if you saw that, Clayton, that deep pass on the sideline there. But the defense pretty much was steady, man. He missed that kick. That kick was a gimme, too. He missed that kick. They could have tied the game up. But it seemed like it was the offense that couldn't get going. You got to give a lot of credit to Indiana and that defense.
There you go.
Yeah. But I mean, if you can't score no more than 10 points, then you ain't gonna beat a whole lot of people.
That's right.
Yeah, but they held Indiana to 13.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know,
it was a solid game. You got to give Indiana credit. You got to.
Definitely.
Yeah. Both defenses showed up.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Showed up. Yes. Right, man. And that guy missed that kick. And I was here watching it because, man, every field goal I say he going to miss. That's pros, college. I'm like, watch he miss. And he missed it. And I was surprised. That's right. And I was surprised. I'm like, oh, man. And I said, it's going to be tough to get the ball back. I think they only had 2 timeouts when he missed it. I said, man, it's going to be tough to get the ball back, man. And they didn't. They didn't get it back. But at the very end, they got back. It was like under a minute. I think it was like under a minute they got it back. Yeah, but it was done then.
Yeah. So, let me see. And we got some good football games coming up today too.
A lot of them.
The Ravens and the Steelers, man. Who y'all like that?
You know, I'm representing. You know what I mean? I was like, I put my Steeler hat on. You represent. Hey,
I wouldn't call that game good football.
I mean, these some important matchups.
I wouldn't call that good. Important, maybe, but not good. I don't even think it's important because I don't give a shit who come out of this game the winner. What they ain't gonna do no damage.
Right. I know you be 7-6 and leading the division at 7-6, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I'm telling y'all, man. If Cincinnati beat Buffalo today, they gonna fuck around and win the AFC North.
Yeah.
Clayton, man, you are probably right. You are probably right.
Because your Steelers, Tunk, they still gotta play. Who they gotta play? Houston.
They got Ravens again.
Yeah, but I'm talking about outside of Baltimore. They gotta play.
They gotta play
the Lions. The Lions.
They gotta play Detroit. They got Cincy. They got another game against Cincy.
No, a team with a winning record. It's another one. On the schedule.
I don't know.
I can't think, but they got a tough schedule. The Ravens still got to pay Green Bay and the Patriots.
Yeah. They played Green Bay and the Packers because they playing that NFC North. So they played Green Bay. They played the Bears.
Yeah.
I think they played Minnesota already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if Cincy get past the Bills, they only got to play the Ravens. After that, they play the Cardinals and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What's that record, Clayton? What's Cincinnati record?
They 4-8, but if they can win their last 5 games, they'd be 9-8.
Yeah. They got to win out.
Yeah, they got to win out though. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see what time say. I remember in the beginning of the season, we talked about the Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I definitely said New England Patriots will beat Pittsburgh Steelers. I was wrong.
Yeah. But if they play again, Tom, Steelers can't do nothing with them New England Patriots.
It wouldn't be close, man. It wouldn't be close to play them again. Yeah, it wouldn't be close.
The only thing hurting New England right now is they on that 10-game win streak. Sooner or later. So the deeper you go into the season, they might take a L.
Yeah. You know what? I be on the fence when it comes to that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Going to the playoffs, you're on an 8-9 game winning streak, and you like, man, you don't want the loss to be now, but then you don't want to give up no game. You know, you don't want to intentionally tank and lose no games at the same time.
You can't. Now I would if I'm only riding like 6, 7, 8, 9 games, that's all right? Yeah. Because I think the record is like 19 straight. So but when you in them double digits, woo, you know what I mean?
And then it's a lot of pressure. They're gonna get that 1 seed. They're gonna get that 1 seed.
Well, New England?
Yeah, they're gonna get that 1 seed. So they ain't gonna have to travel. They're gonna get that bye. They're gonna get that bye. Yeah, but
it's crazy, man.
It is, man. Because look, the teams that we talked about in the AFC were the Ravens, Kansas City, and Buffalo.
Yeah.
All 3 of them teams are struggling this year. All 3 of them teams are struggling this year.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. If Kansas City beat Houston today, they win in the rest of their games.
Yeah.
Yep. They're going to wind up with 11 wins if they beat Houston today.
They got San Diego again, right?
Yeah, they got them home, though. See, early in the year, they played in Brazil or somewhere, and they only lost by a score. They played the Broncos in Denver, lost by a score. They got to go to Kansas City now, huh?
They got them all at home, yeah. They got all home there.
And then they got the Titans and the Raiders. Yeah. So if this the game today. If Kansas City lose today, I'll concede they done. But if they win today, they're gonna win the rest of their games.
That Denver game, man. That you know, conference games always toss up. It's always like flip a coin. I mean, division games. It's always like flip a coin with that.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't see them getting swept by their division. I can see them splitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're gonna see though. That's a pivotal game tonight.
Then you got Jacksonville and the Colts. That's gonna be
a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Jacksonville and the Colts. What's the name of the year? What's my man name? Travis Hunter. He out for the year.
Yep.
He is?
Yeah. It's a knee, ain't it, Clayton? It's a knee.
It's a knee. Yep.
How serious is it though? I mean, like, it's not career threatening though.
No. It ain't nothing like that. But it's not your ACL. What is it?
No, but it's the LCL or something.
The LCL. Yeah.
Or MCL. It's something, but he out for the year, man.
Yeah.
And I
appreciate you, Rick.
I didn't get to see him to really see, how well he was playing or whatever, or how well he was coming along. I didn't get to see a lot of him.
Hey, tell Retro the Browns should get another win today. They ain't playing nobody. They playing
Tennessee.
Yeah. But y'all saw what the 49ers did to that ass, right?
I want to march that sack record down, man. Michael Paul.
Oh my God, I did not know he was that high till y'all told me that in the group text.
Yeah, not Michael.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah, Miles Garrett.
He had 19.
Yeah.
Woo.
He gonna walk that down, man. I think the next closest person got like 14 or something.
Yeah,
like a 5-sack lead or something like that. Yeah, man.
But I think he gonna legitimately get the record. It ain't gonna be one of them quarterback give it to him like with Strahan. Yeah.
But you know what I want though, Clay? I want him to get it in 16 games. I don't want it to be like he only got it because it was an extra game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But listen,
I want him to get it in 16 games. Yeah.
I'm okay if he go way past it.
Right. Yeah. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
You know, if he go past it,
26. Yeah. Get 25. Yeah.
If he get like 26, what's that?
You said what?
If he got 26 in 17 games, I like that. But I want him to get that 22 and a half in 16 games. You know what I'm saying? I want him to get 5 games, 16. Yeah. So they won't say, oh man, the only reason he got it is because, you know what I mean, it's an extra game.
That's the game. Yeah. Nah, the way he at right now, nobody in history has had 19 at this point in the season.
And you know, I was talking to a guy, and I was talking about TJ Watt, man. And I say, since he got that bread, man, he hasn't been the same player, man.
Yeah.
TJ Watt.
I don't know if he's injured. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's injured or not, you know, and things like that. And I'm not sitting up here trying to make no excuses or whatever. But since he got that money, man, he hasn't been the same player. He got shut out the other game, man. No pressure, no tackles, no sacks. All that bread. He one of the highest paid defensive players in the league, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't. If that was Myles Garrett, he would be getting killed. If that was Myles Garrett, he'd be getting. If that was Michael Parsons, he'd be getting killed. You know?
Well, it's just one season, right? And Pittsburgh's struggling too, man, on defense, though. I'll give him a little pass. Tell Tom, it ain't about me giving Shador another season to get okay. It's about these teams giving it to him. I can't, you know, I'm all for letting the kid grow. I'm just saying.
They told him Deshaun won't be back next year, so Deshaun Watson. They say they're gonna bring him back and let them battle it out. Or
they returned him to practice this week.
Deshaun,
he was on the practice field. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I
ain't saying he gonna play, but he was back practicing.
Yeah. See, I ain't know.
They show a highlight to that.
Ain't like that dude Judy, man, going over there getting in Shador face, man. Man, listen. When first of all, let's talk about Judy for a hot second. The dude dropped everything. The dude drops everything, Butterfingers, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go past that. How many times you got frustrated and gotten that dude, what's his name, Gabriel, whatever? How many times you got frustrated and went over on the sideline and said something to him? You know what I'm saying? Now, you playing your first couple games with Shador, you come over there and try to show him up. I like the fact that Shador stood up too, because he was sitting down when he walked over there saying something. Shador stood up like, hold up, Slim. You ain't gonna just come over here like you just gonna scream, you know what I mean, over top of my head like that. So I like that. But Judy, when I used to like Judy too, and when Denver got rid of him, I thought Denver had made a mistake. I said, man, that boy Judy, nice, man. You might need him with Bo Nix, man. You know what I'm saying? To make Bo Nix life a little easier, man. But nah, since then, man, this guy dropped everything, man. He drops everything, man.
So remember the week before when Shador threw him that bomb and somebody came from behind him and knocked it out his hand.
He fumbled. Yep, sure did. Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Like if he want to communicate with Shador is his teammate. You know what I mean? And he is not. He don't have any authority. That's your peer. I think when wide receivers try to show quarterbacks up like that, I think it works against you anyway, because if the quarterback, he can limit your touches.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And tight ends don't seem to do that. Like tight ends, they establish a rapport with the quarterback. They make sure they're in a place where the quarterback can find them when he get in trouble and stuff like that, you know. And I don't know what's up with these wide receivers who take on that diva approach to quarterback.
I just think all receivers divas, man. We was talking about that one time. Me and Jim was talking about it. It's like it seems like all receivers are divas, man.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be one to be a receiver. It's like you gotta be a diva to be a receiver. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like you gotta be a diva to be a receiver, man. Look at my man in Philly. Now they lost, but he had a good game statistically. I bet you he good with that. Yeah, he good. AJ Brown. Yeah, but he probably good with that. You know what I'm saying? As long as my numbers look good, I don't care about winning, whatever. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, I ain't get over there saying that though.
I ain't give up on Dallas yet. I still think they're gonna run the table now.
I thought they was gonna win. What's the name, man? I really did.
I thought they would beat him, but see, Witchcomb got that concussion. CeeDee Lamb went out the game.
Sure did.
And I think that definitely changed the complexion of that game. Yeah.
I shouldn't feel good about him getting a concussion, but I thought it was a knee. I thought it was a knee when he first hit. I said, "Damn, man, he hit his knee." You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a knee. You know what I mean? But concussion.
But yeah, Judy went after him. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. It's stuff like that, man. That stuff, it just it didn't look good. I'll say that.
You got Randy Moss, man. It ain't, like I said, you drop everything that hit your hand, so it ain't like you joint right, and you coming back and saying X, Y, Z or whatever.
Hardest thing for us to see is ourselves, bro.
always, man. Always, man. Boy, you ain't never lied. What about the boy in Dallas, right? They say he showed the receiver that they got from the Steelers. They say he showed like a lack of effort. During that game, they say he showed like a lack. It's a contract year for now.
You can see it. You could see it. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially that one he did the alligator on. He didn't want that smoke at all.
Who was that? You talking about Jerry Jeudy?
No, we're talking about Pickens.
Oh, Pickens.
Yeah. Wasn't running the route hard. Wasn't going. I don't know what was going on with him.
That comeback route. Because if he'd have blasted off the line of speed, he'd have had more separation. I know exactly what you're talking about, Clayton, because they showed it. Because and he might not have been the primary receiver on that play, so he wasn't, running the route hard. He wasn't, he wasn't running the route hard. But then Dak came back to him at the last minute, but he hadn't created no separation in his route. I was able to defend the pass. But even on that deep ball, though, Clayton, I don't know if you remember, that ball was closer than I thought.
Yeah.
Deep ball, right? And
it was very much close. Yes.
He didn't make an effort to do it. I'm like, wait a minute, man. I'm thinking like Dak missed him bad. I'm like, man, that ball wasn't that, you know what I mean? I said, man. I say, man, see, that's the contract year. So, they go back, man, and when it's time to give you some bread, them owners and them general managers sitting in that room and say, look at this. Look at this. Look at this on 3rd and sticks. You know what I'm saying? Look at this lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, they're going to come back and point out all your faults, all your shortcomings. And they like, no, we offer this.
Yeah.
We offer this. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's almost like, I don't know what's going on, but it just looked like he was out of it.
He did.
Sitting on the bench, like something was on his mind, maybe bipolar, maybe he was hot.
He was locked in or nothing. Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah. Oh, Chicago and Green Bay play the game.
Chicago goes down. They're going to lose today.
You think so?
You think so?
I do.
Yeah.
Chicago riding high, though. Don't get me wrong. But it's mainly on that run game and the defense. Like, I'm not blown away with Williams. I'm not blown away with him.
No.
But he's using his legs. He's playing good. But I think Green Bay get him. That's in Lambeau, baby.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay get him today.
What's the name, man? That just goes to show you, man, just a difference in coaching, man. You know what I'm saying? Just a difference in coaching with Caleb Williams, who I've never really been a fan of, man. But that dude is coaching him up.
Yeah, you're right.
He's coaching him up, man. And I think a lot of times, man, they don't look at that. Coach Tomlin said that on a pivot one time. He was talking like, man, coaches don't really take pride in coaching guys up. Like, man, all right, you can't do this. Well, I'm gonna coach you to do it. It's like they always want the finished product. You know what I'm saying? So they can implement whatever system they want to run. You got to be able to run it. If not, I got to get rid of you and go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? But instead of coaching them on how to perfect your system and run it, you know what I'm saying, like a well-oiled machine. That's my words.
I can empathize with that a little bit because the league and the defenses and the schemes are getting so sophisticated. You need to put a lot of energy and effort into that. So what's going to take away from that sometimes if you have team players that you have to coach up. But I still put that on the coordinators. I think the position coaches are the ones that really need to be coaching these guys up, into their technique and things of this nature. But I can emphasize with it a little bit. But I'm going to tell you, I think the best team in the NFC is and that's them damn Seattle Seahawks, man. Them Seattle Seahawks is serious.
That's who should have been. That dude up there should be the Ravens coach, man, and they let him go.
Yep, they let him go. They let him get out the door. Yep,
they let him go.
Yep. Yep.
Seattle play today. Let me see. Oh, they play Atlanta.
Yeah.
You talk about, man, what's the name might be out down there? Raheem Mars might be out down there in Atlanta. They say they disappointed this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they disappointed this year. You know, that's another team. They seem like they got talent at the position, you know, position players, they got talent, man, but skill players, but I don't know, man. It seemed like they and when my man got hurt again, he got another knee, man. He just can't stay out with their quarterback down there, the left-hand dude that came out of Indiana.
Oh, yeah, Michael Pence.
Yeah.
Michael Pence or Pinks. I can't say his name right now.
But this is third knee, man. He had two in college. He had both 1 and 1 in college, and he got one now, man. So yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because he was at Illinois, then transferred to Indiana. I believe that's how it went. He went to Illinois, then transferred to Indiana. He got hurt in Illinois, then transferred to Indiana, got hurt there, and now he's in the pros, man. So
now, even though I think the Bears gonna lose today, I think Green Bay giving them too many points. I would take the Bears in the 6.5.
Yeah.
All day. Y'all hear me out there in the chat? If you gamble, take the Bears in the 6.5.
Yeah. Made by a professional handicap. Professional handicap.
I think that's too many. Hey, yeah.
I think the Lions, man, with that win, man, I think they done made some noise, man. You know what I'm saying? That they ain't dead yet. You know, a lot of people were still trying to throw dirt on Detroit, man. I think with that win against Dallas, man,
they stepped up.
Right.
And I was surprised. Amon-Ra, what's his name?
Yeah, St. Brown.
St. Brown. I was surprised he played, but he played and he played his ass off too.
He was hurt. He was hurt.
He was hurt, and he was playing hurt. Yes. Okay. He came back, yes, and played his ass off. Yes.
I know.
I gotta tip my hat. Yeah, because he missed the week before. He was out. Yeah.
He might have.
I think he left the game Thanksgiving against Green Bay.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting.
Too bad man ain't on here because
I know.
Ken Carson said this. Let me see. Reminds me of the Brooklyn Dodgers as the cow patties. In Brooklyn, the Dodgers always next year, you know, and they bums. Let me see. This is what Dallas is. Period. Right. I don't know. I don't know. I think Dak Prescott having a good season.
Dak is a good quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Good quarterback.
I do think Dak is a good quarterback and having a good season. Let me see. My man Tom said this is for Uncle Clayton. Chicago Bears run the ball well. That's what Green Bay does not do well. Contain a run. I believe Chicago has a chance to beat Green Bay. And the defense is number 1 in takeaways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you gotta look at Chicago's schedule and who they've been beating. They have some good wins on there, but for the most part, nah.
Yeah.
I hear him though. Like I said, I like them with the points, but I think Green Bay get them in Lambeau today, baby.
What's the name?
Time. I'm gonna keep a lookout for that time.
He's saying the Bears are number 1 in takeaways.
I think he's saying that. Yeah.
So,
man, did you see how Jordan Love played on Thanksgiving, man?
I was about to ask y'all about Jordan Love. What you think of him? I was about to ask y'all about Jordan Love, man. Do you think?
Who did they play? The Texans? They played the Texans, right?
They played Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
And he went to work.
Lights out. Yeah, he was lights out. Yeah. He was lights out.
And you know, toward the end of the year, that's when he really started elevating.
Because the knock on him is that he have turnovers and you know what I mean, and costly, you know what I mean, costly situations. He turns the ball over. So I was about to ask you and Mike. I was about to ask both of y'all. Do y'all think that Green Bay can win a championship with him? You know what I mean, under center.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah.
I don't know. I think their running game, man. You know, and that's what I think is going to come down to. Which one of these teams got a strong running game, especially going through the playoffs.
I'm about to say, especially as it get colder and things like that. Yeah, you want to have. That's why I like Detroit, even though they play inside, man. I like they want you punch Montgomery and Gibbs. Ain't that his name, Clayton, that other running back in Detroit?
Gibbs. Yeah, Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, him and Montgomery, man.
That dude the truth, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's why I got frustrated with Dan Campbell on Thanksgiving. You got that boy in the backfield, he getting in the red zone doing dumb shit. I was like, what is he doing, man?
Right. And all them 4th downs, man, he be.
Yes.
Man, I know you want to. Yeah, man, I know you want to be somebody that go for it. You want to have confidence and stuff, man.
Sometimes you gotta come up off that bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Put some points on the board, man.
Right. No doubt. Hey, Clayton, Kent says that the cow patties have blown it. The last 25 years? Correct. So the proof is in the pudding, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you talking about Dallas?
I mean, they playing.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
they're not really like front runners.
But this feels different though.
Mm-hmm.
This just feels different. I like the head coach.
Yeah, I gotta say I agree with you, dude. That's why I said you seem a little bit different.
Yeah, this feels different. And like I said, I think trading Michael Parsons set their team up, and I think moving forward,
and trading for the big boy,
the other guy that just came in,
right? The defensive line. Oh
yeah. Right. And so this feels a little different. Dak doing what he's doing. If you keep Pickens here in the game,
I know.
And I think if Lamb didn't get hurt Thursday night, it could have been a different, because that changed the complexion of that game a little bit. So yeah, man. But he right, Dallas. I'm not a Dallas guy. I just gotta give credit where credit due. Jerry Jones. One thing he learned from being with Jimmy Johnson was when they traded Herschel, what it did for the franchise. So that's a blueprint he can follow, and I think he got some good stuff for it.
Yeah,
you know. But I definitely think the rest of the teams on Dallas schedules, they beat them because they ain't got nobody. The Commanders, the Giants. Who else they play? I can't think, but they got winnable games, all winnable games from me on out.
They say the Giants, man, was looking at Mike McCarthy to come in there and coach them. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Oh,
the Giants was looking at to bring him in.
Yeah. Hey, listen, here's a note for us, man. The Pittsburgh, Baltimore. They said Pittsburgh 8-2 over the last 10 in the regular season against Baltimore.
8 wins, 2 losses.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They done swept them a couple times doing that. Yeah, they done swept them a couple times.
Yep. Yeah. But they just not playing good enough defense this year.
I think Lamar is injured, man. I really think Lamar is injured. They say he didn't miss a day of practice like the last 3 weeks or something, man. I think Lamar is injured, man, because he don't even look to run the ball. He don't, you know what I'm saying, just to get away from trouble. He don't even look to get out of there, man. I think.
And when he do, he not even really breaking away from nobody. He just running out of, barely getting out of bounds.
Right. For the last 3 weeks, it looked like that. But Thursday against Cincinnati, when he took off running, he looked kind of like himself a little bit. He just didn't do it a lot. Yeah, he did. Yeah, but you're right. He did look bad.
A lot, you know what I'm saying? And I think he's injured, I don't know if it's his foot, his ankle, something like that, his toe, something like that, because, it's a day of practice.
But here again, they talking about how great he is now. Harbaugh come out, he's a historically great passer and all this and all that. He should be killing these teams from the pocket.
I remember him saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've just been a firm believer that once his athleticism start waning like AI, it changes his game. I don't know if he's going to be the same quarterback, but we're going to see. But I just don't think Pittsburgh playing good enough D, though. Not to beat Baltimore today.
What Kent says that just giving you Clayton to defense, in my opinion, I don't like the Cowboys, but I'm let me see. I'm not narrow-minded.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. I don't like him either, bro. I don't dislike him, but I don't like him, but I get it. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Dak carry himself well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
like
does.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
He carries himself well. And you know what? On the low, I'm kind of rooting for them though.
Yeah.
I am on the low because of that tragedy they just had. That guy taking his life.
Yeah.
And listen, man, I went on record last week saying I think the Cowboys and the Chiefs going to be the Super Bowl matchup this year.
Yeah.
Because of the storyline, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Especially with that suicide thing, man. That's serious.
Yeah.
And during the Super Bowl, they like to address stuff like that.
That was their first loss since that happened. When they lost to Detroit. They won 3 straight, I think. I think they won 3 straight, and then that was their first loss since that happened. Yeah.
Stuff like that has a way of putting things in perspective for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And you realize it's just a game. So it takes a lot of pressure off you,
Yeah. So what Tom said, Jordan Love will be the second coming of Dak Prescott. He'll win you a game, but he'll let you down in the big games.
Okay.
Now, see, I mean, that remains to be seen, though, just because Jordan Love, he is young in his, early in his career.
Right.
I think I'm kind of pulling for Dallas, too, just because, and my reason is because of what Dak has had to overcome for his entire career. You know what I mean? People don't pay him. He's not a winning quarterback. He inconsistent and stuff like that. I just like to see people persevere like that. You know what I mean? Don't bow and buckle to that pressure.
And I think I've heard somebody say this before, and I agree with them. But I think, man, the Dallas, if you're the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I think no other position in any other sport is as scrutinized as that position. You know what I'm saying? Maybe shortstop for the Yankees, maybe shortstop for the Yankees or something like that, man. But I don't think no other position in any other sport or any other team is more scrutinized than the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, somebody said that a couple of years ago, and I was like, damn, I never looked at it that way, but I agree with it. I agree.
Crazy.
What's the name of them? Play tomorrow night, man. That's gonna be a good game.
Philly and the Chargers.
Yep, the Eagles and the Chargers. That's gonna be a good game. Like you say, man, this week, man, got a lot of good games, man. A lot of important games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let me see. Urban off topic. Touch as the WNBA and all that BS, right? So I know the last time I said something about the WNBA, I know that what was they getting ready to extend that the collective bargaining? I don't know if they extended it or
not. They did. January 9th or January 6th or something like that. So you were on point with that.
Yeah. So I just think though, when it comes to the WNBA, I just think that right now it is, in my opinion, just look like the league has all the leverage. I don't see that Project B League as really being a threat to the WNBA. I just think the WNBA got all the leverage right now. And so hopefully the players will, they'll stick together and do, what's best for all the players. But other than that, they gotta be careful how they manage this situation.
So they extended it out so they have until January to get a deal in place?
Yeah. And the longer that the more they extend, I think the more it's going to cause fractures in the players, with the players, because you got people who live from check to check, and money is going to definitely become a factor. You know what I mean? People like, I need to get back to work now.
You know what the league proposal is? Do y'all think it's fair? Because I don't really catch up.
I wouldn't say, in my opinion, if it's fair or not. That's for the players, but they say they offer them like 3 to 4 times what they was already getting, right? I don't know,
Yeah, I heard something about the minimum salary coming up from being like 70,000 level, going up to like 200 and some.
Right. Yeah.
But I heard some of the players can get up to like 1.2 or 1.5 or something. I don't know, but so they talking about increasing salary, but they not talking revenue sharing. That's the stickler. That's the disconnect.
Gotcha.
They want revenue share. They want their revenue share to get increased from this measly 9%.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now I do think that measly 9% is that's embarrassing for real.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the lowest across all professional sports. I think the next lowest is like 18%.
Yeah, something like that.
Sport that
So even with that, even with the increase in base salaries and stuff like that, the revenue sharing at only 9%. That's what the players not going for.
Yeah, they want increasing that. Yeah. Everybody think they want what the NBA players want. They never said that. They just want to be more than 9%.
Yeah.
You know, that's nothing. Especially the way merchandise moving now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You getting the TV money. You got some revenue now. Don't get me wrong. Revenue don't mean profit, but there is a lot of revenue there now. So they want a little piece of it, you know?
Yeah. And it's definitely, like you said, with the TV money, the streaming and stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's money out there.
So explain that to me, Clayton. Why wouldn't the revenue be considered a profit?
Because your revenue is the money that you got, and that is a lot. You got to pay for everything, and then after you pay for everything, marketing and all this other stuff you paying, what's left becomes what your profit is. So you generate money, you know what I'm saying? But they got to pay out. So if you get a TV deal, I think their TV deal is like 2.2 billion or something like that over so many years or whatever. That's revenue. But within that, you got bills, right? So now you're paying stuff out. And then what's left becomes a profit if there's a profit there. Did that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. So
they still should be they still should be in the black though after all that, right?
You know, I don't know, because I don't know what kind of money they spending. I don't know what kind of debt I don't know. You know what I mean? So,
but I think players don't even know because they you know, it's hard to track that kind of. It's so easy for them to hide the money.
See, sometimes they don't want the owners don't want to show the books, so they take our word for it. We losing money type thing. Yeah, I got you.
And according to these other leagues, the NFL, the NBA, stuff like that, according to them, it took them 40 years to turn a profit. WNBA only been around how many years now? 25, 26?
Not longer than that, right?
Almost like around 30.
Yeah, about 30.
I thought they was in the 20s right now.
They around in the 90s. Remember, Houston was winning. It was like in the 90s, like 96,
96, 97, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So around 27, that'll be 30 years.
Right.
So I'm just saying it take a while sometimes for that stuff to pop. But I'm gonna tell you what's getting ready to hurt Unrivaled. Netflix just bought Warner Brothers. And HBO Max and HBO and that stuff. Right. And some of them Unrivaled games get streamed on that. And that will eliminate Unrivaled from those platforms. So Unrivaled took another hit with Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers. Yeah.
They wouldn't bring them over. They wouldn't bring them over.
According to the report. Yeah. So that's interesting.
It's a big enough demand for the Unrivaled because number one, it's a 3-on-3 league.
Right.
And number two, you using the superstar players, the current superstar players from the WNBA, or you trying to.
Yep.
You know, and so.
Yeah, you're right.
It's interesting.
It is.
Yep. But yeah, man. See how the wheel turn.
Yeah.
Y'all been following any college?
Basketball. I haven't. I was talking to my pop. He said he watched Baylor and somebody play Baylor and somebody. He said, man, Baylor, you know, they was getting up and down. So they was averaging like 90 points a game or something. But I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I want to see that kid Boozer at Duke. I watched a little bit of Duke play somebody. I forgot who they was playing.
They beat Michigan. Yeah, that both of them was ranked top 10, I think. Yeah, both of them was ranked top 10.
Yeah, I ain't seen nothing yet, but
me either. Every time Duke play, man, it don't matter when they play, man. It seems like Duke beat them.
Yeah.
Even going all the way back to the Fab Five guys, man. It seems like, man, whenever Duke and Michigan play, Duke always beat them.
Yeah.
But let me say that, Clayton, because oh no, that was Tunk. I think Tom disagreed. Tom, he says that not true. Playing quarterback for the 49ers, quarterback for the Dolphins is a lot of pressure. I think I gotta disagree, Tom. I think playing quarterback for the Cowboys, I think is that's more like that's America's team. You know, you playing for the Cowboys, you get a lot of scrutiny for playing for the Cowboys.
Not, you know what I mean? Not Miami. I don't think that's.
Yeah.
I don't think they looked at under the same microscope as a quarterback for the Cowboys. I don't think that's. Yeah. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say 49ers either, because the media really don't follow the 49ers around like that. You know, like they do. You factor everything in with Jerry Jones and things like that. He climbs, you know what I mean, for every, he never ran into a microphone he don't like. So you factor all that in, man. That quarterback position, and it's going to be a high paid position. You know that quarterback position for Cowboys is going to be a high paid. I just think that's the most scrutinized position. I ain't even just talking football. I'm just talking about all sports. I think that's the most scrutinized position, man. You know what I mean? You gonna get you under that microscope. You're under that microscope.
Now, I did I did get an opportunity to watch this kid, Kion Anthony, man. I dig his game for real.
You like him, Mike? You like him?
I like his game.
Right. So what position he play, Mike?
He like a two guard.
Okay.
He like a two guard. He not big enough. He not big enough or strong enough right now to be a 3 or a 4, right? But at that 2, this kid, man, at that mid range, and he said that's all he worked on. Him and his father, that mid range, he gets you leaning one way, hit one dribble, or you know what I mean. It's not his game is kind of like it's efficient.
That's right. That's right.
Somebody to be that young and to move that efficiently,
right?
And he learning from. Because Carmelo he was very efficient with his game and his movement on the court.
And Melo was a mid-range guy. And Melo was a mid-range guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what Kion said. He said, man, my father told me to use the mid-range because that's a dying art. He said, so I work on this every day, right? And you can see it, man. He is, man, this kid is cool as he's.
How big is he, Mike? How big is he?
He about 6'5", 6'8", or 6'6", something like that. He about 6'5", I would say, around 6'5".
Damn, I didn't know he was that tall.
Yeah. What Carmelo like 6'8"?
Melo like
something like that.
Yeah,
you can tell Melo is at least about 2 or 3 inches taller than him.
Yeah.
So he might be like 6'5".
Man, I got a homeboy say he saw Melo at the airport. He said, man, Melo was 6'3". I said, man, get out. He ain't no 6'3". He's 6'3".
Yeah, he ain't no,
Right. But I'm at to check him out now, Mike. I'm at to check him out.
I'm gonna check him out when I get a chance.
His game, I mean, it's a pleasure to see somebody play like that for real, though. You know what I mean? I mean, because he out there thinking on the court. He don't just get the ball and he out there thinking. And
that's why I like watching that boy in OKC, because that's his game. That's his game.
Yeah. Y'all enjoy them games, man. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom now. Everybody in the chat, y'all enjoy.
All right, man.
It's good to talk to y'all, man. All right.
Appreciate you,
all right, man. Okay, I'll see y'all.
All right. I'm ready to get out of here too, man.
Okay, Mike, man. Good talking to y'all again, man. Good to be back, man. Good to be back.
I appreciate everybody in the chat. Tom, Kent Carlson, Andrew. Who else was in here? Retro was in here for a bit. Yeah, man. I'm great. Get me something to eat, some snacks for the
That's right. For the game. Yeah. All right, Mike. I'll give you a call later on.
All right, Tom.
All right. Yes, sir.